Hi, I'm Jon Chattman. I'm here with Anna Rose. How's it going?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. So you're touring a lot, right?
Yeah, the past few months we've been doing a lot of shows, touring behind our record Nomad, which is out now, and you can buy it on iTunes and Amazon, and at my shows.
That's a shameless promotion.
Shameless self-promotion.
So tell me about how long it took to put Nomad together and why there is it an eagle on the album cover?
It's actually a falcon.
Okay.
We've discussed this before.
I'm not good with poultry.
Poultry?
Is that poultry?
I feel like poultry is when a bird is cooked.
I eat hawks, apparently. Anyways, so talk to me a little bit about the bird. Sorry, the bird that's on the cover.
The falcon actually was lent to me by an organization called Green Chimneys that works with children who have been abused or abandoned, and they take them in and sort of rehabilitate the kids through having them take care of an animal and rehabilitating the animal and stuff like that. So it's a really great organization. I really love animals, and initially I actually wanted a horse, and the photographer was like, cheese fest. Yeah. Absolutely not.
Especially if it's in black and white.
Yeah, exactly. So, no horse, and then I thought birds, because the record is called Nomad, and I don't know, it kind of went from there. The imagery for the cover of the record definitely came from the music on the record itself, but it took a different direction, and it was really cool to actually go back and listen to the record after all the photographs were done. Everything took a different shape.
Now, how long did it take to actually put it together?
The recording process for Nomad was probably about 4 months,
Okay.
but after that, there was the process of getting it out, which is sort of, at the moment in the business, getting it out is the hard thing.
Yeah.
So that was about a 2-year process, and the fact that it's out now is really incredible. It's, all those songs I've written from the age of 12 up to, I'm 25 now, so, I had my whole life to write the first record. Now it's out, and that feels really, really good.
Now, I just want to get this out of the way. Your dad's Alan Menken, Mr. Oscar. They give him Oscars when he doesn't make music, which is really weird. There was a period of time they gave him every Oscar. He won Best Actress in 1987.
No, definitely not.
Well, he had a straight.
His hair could have won Best Actress.
Ooh.
He had the mullet for a very long, extended period of time.
Well, the whole purpose of this part of the interview is, did you always knew you were going to go toward his path? I mean, not exactly, but music as a career?
I knew that I would always go into music. There was no other, it was just my passion. There are other things that I am passionate about, but I knew that was sort of what I wanted and needed to do in my life. And that was embraced in my family from a really early age. So I was able to go to these recording sessions and see these huge 80-piece orchestras and things like that. And it was just, I'm overwhelmed by the amount of music education I got from that situation. But I also had a lot of music education through the schools that I went to, and definitely studied guitar and sang different choirs and things like that. So, well, not really choirs. They were more like, I kind of was just in a lot of bands. There weren't so much choirs.
I'm just picturing your childhood versus mine. My dad was a drama teacher, and I saw his stage productions.
Mm-hmm.
You go into studios with orchestras and animated characters jumping around.
Yeah.
Are you jealous of my childhood at all?
Yours is probably a little more normal than mine. Mine was a little intense. It definitely prepared me for the stuff that's happening now, for doing things like this, for doing interviews and stuff like that. I've seen my dad do press junkets forever. But it's always different, A, when it's you, and B, my dad writes for characters, which is it's a real skill, and writing scores for films and capturing those moments and having the music elevate whatever's happening in the film or on the stage.
Right.
And that's such a gift, but what I do is very different. I'm writing sometimes I write for characters, but it's always from my own voice. It's always literally my voice. So it's just a different kind of putting yourself out there, and I think image-wise too, I was a dancer when I was younger, but I'm still, I'm still a little self-conscious and things like that, as getting dressed up and all that kind of stuff. It was sort of always separate from music for me. I never felt the need to get dressed up and make myself look nice to play music, and now I sort of find myself like, oh shit, I'm gonna be doing an interview, and I should probably not look like I haven't showered in 2 days. But I shower every day, people, by the way. It's just
I do almost every day.
It's some hygiene.
I do it twice a day, because this is actually to a big audience. Don't want them to think I don't shower.
Exactly, hygiene.
So, I mean, was there ever a time where your dad was like, well, you know what, maybe you shouldn't go into this industry, it's pretty crazy? Or your parents, I mean, your mom was a dancer, right? So.
I think I was in a situation where I was just encouraged. And I did end up going to college for a little while and ended up dropping out because I wanted to do music, and I was spending all my time that I should have been studying, on Sunset, playing at clubs and things like that. So it was just encouraged. If that's your dream, you do it. There's no, what's the point otherwise?
Right.
I mean, I guess I'm in a unique situation that way though, because it was so encouraged for me to just do what I love to do.
Is it? I mean, did you always know the genre you were going to go in? Because, I mean, the female singer-songwriter, woman with a guitar is it's difficult to kind of break out, right?
Yeah. What am I going to say? There are lots of girls with guitars.
But I mean, like, were you part of a band or something? Or?
I've played with a lot of different bands, but it's always, for me, I was always a writer first and foremost. So performing and having people behind me was something that became necessary. It was either I was going to play solo or I was going to have a band behind me. But I feel like my bands now are guys that I play with all the time, and they do very much feel like, it feels like we are a band as much as it is Anna Rose. They do a lot of the arrangements for the songs and things like that, and they're a vital part of it. And I just break the shit.
Yes.
Big arguments.
What is the songwriting process like for you?
Throwing shit against the wall and seeing whatever sticks. It's one of those things. I'm not, I listen to a lot of blues and Zeppelin and a lot of what Jack White's doing right now, Dead Weather and things like that. And that's not so much hook driven,
Right.
but I'm in a situation where I'm playing blues and pop music and things like that, and I do want, it's a challenge for me to write those hooks. And so I'm just trying to challenge myself right now.
Right.
And the songwriting process for Nomad was a bit different because I had my whole life to do it, and it was sort of whenever I sat down to write a song. It was very different. Now I'm sort of thinking, okay, I gotta push all these songs out, and I have to write every single day, and now it's a job versus it being something I did when I was pretending to study,
Right. So, I mean, do you write when you're touring? I mean, I don't know, it seems like you're touring all the time. But, like, I mean, are you writing on the road when you're not on the stage?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think that's the best place to write. You're experiencing, for me, I'm experiencing totally new things. And that was, the one thing I really wasn't exposed to was life on the road. And, my dad was away every once in a while, but it was, he was never away for months at a time, and he certainly isn't recognized by his face, and not that I am either, but, it's just different.
His name is huge. I mean, I was just joking before, when I said that he won Best Actress. But, like, but I mean, his name is pretty big. I mean, he's pretty synonymous with Disney, and, all the stuff he's done.
He's a very, very respected person in his field, and
I think we have a clip of him doing these. Just kidding. That's a white wall. Sorry. That's lovely. I'm gonna add on an animated Angela Lansbury teapot.
Well, I don't know. Can we all also note that my feet don't touch the ground? I'm very short, so now everyone knows that.
It's just a really big chair.
Yes.
It's true. So where do you see, just wrapping this up, where do you see your career going? Like, I'm sure you get this a lot, but like, is there an artist out there whose career you want to follow? Or do you want to just say, you know what, I want a career that, is totally different, defines me, and blah, blah?
I have a lot of different things that I want to accomplish. I think as a performer and a writer, Sheryl Crow has had a great career. Sarah McLachlan is, they're both still having great careers. I idolize a lot of people who are not alive and died very young. So it's a little bit different to envision an entire life of music. But I just want to be a working musician my whole life. I do have my own label as well now, and my own publishing company, and those are things that I want to continue working in. I co-produce my records, so I'm really interested in producing other artists and getting more into the technical side of things, and of course going back to dance as well. I mean, I was a choreographer and a dancer for a long time, so those are things that I still really love to do and I'm really passionate about.
Nice.
Yeah, just, keeping it everywhere. And maybe at some point write a musical or music supervise a film or something. But that would be a very interesting thing to go into.
Okay.
I could see myself, now that Duncan Cheek has done it, and there are a lot of other singer-songwriters who are now writing musicals, it's more of a, the door's more open, but I think that door might be very, very closed to me.
Why do you think that?
No, I'm the child of someone who is very, very successful in that particular field, and I don't, I think some people might criticize it just for the sake of criticizing it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which would be fine with me, I just would do it for me, but
Right.
it's just it's a different thing when you've got such big shoes to fill. And I'm not trying to fill them, I'm just trying to stand next to them.
Good stuff.
And a